Welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about a new series that I've been working very hard on that I'm proud of, and it is called Everything You Need to Know About Prints. As an artist, in my opinion, your bread and butter is your prints. The number one thing that's going to make you money, especially starting out, is going to be your prints. Very few artists make a living selling their originals, and the ones that do usually have name recognition and are already established in the industry, and those people are very few and far between. I can tell you firsthand, people, especially nowadays, don't buy originals very much, and so that's why I wanted to make a detailed basically series of videos. This is going to be 5 videos in this Everything You Need to Know About Print series, and the way I'm structuring them is essentially like a college course is kind of how I had it envisioned. And like I said, 5 videos, and each one is going to build off of the video before it. So the information that you use on the first video, you can then take it to the second and the third and so on. By the time you get to the 5th video, my goal is to take you from if you know nothing to being able to have a finished, professional looking packaged, ready to go, professional, ready to sell print. That's the idea of this, and each video builds off the one before it. So let's go ahead and get into the videos, what they're about, and we'll talk about them and what this series is going to look like, okay? So the first video in the series, Everything You Need to Know About Prints Part 1, is the basics. Pretty self-explanatory. In this one, I talk about the philosophy of prints, or my philosophy on prints, what I think makes a quality print, some of the pitfalls to avoid, and some of the things that I'm thinking about when I'm getting a print ready. And the biggest issue here that we talk about right from the get-go is something that you're going to have to decide on when you start, is if you're going to make your prints yourself or if you're going to outsource them. I have a very specific feeling about this and stance on this. I explain that in the video, and we talk about the basics and how to get you started. So that is the first video in the series. And so the second video in the series, Everything You Need to Know About Prints Part 2, is equipment. And this is the one that I probably get the most direct questions on. People ask me what kind of printer I use, what kind of scanner I use, how do you get pictures, professional pictures of your prints. All of that we cover in this one. I have very heavy OCD, so I have very set approaches on all of this. I know exactly the kind of photo paper I use. I know exactly how I'm going to scan a piece based on its size, based on its medium. I know if I'm going to take a picture of it based on the lighting outside, so on and so forth. So I can give you some really detailed info on this stuff. But this is equipment. I just share with you exactly what I use, how I make the prints, what materials I use, the hardware, all that stuff we cover in this video. That's number 2, equipment. So the third video in the series is Everything You Need to Know About Prints, Part 3, Packaging and Presentation. And in my opinion, this is the most often overlooked part or aspect of making prints. People focus, rightly so, on the quality of the print, but more often than not, I see people neglect the same level of energy that they put into making it. I almost never see people put the same level of energy into packaging it and presenting it. And that will ultimately be a huge determining factor in whether or not somebody wants to buy your print. So here's the way I look at it. If you take a high quality print and it's packaged well, you can actually buttress the value of it and make it more valuable. If you take a print, no matter what the quality is, and you put it in cheap packaging, you can actually degrade the value of it, and you're not doing yourself a good service that way. You're actually taking whatever work you put into your print, and you're kind of undercutting yourself by not packaging it correctly. So in this video, I share with you all the things that I do with mine and what I think is important about packaging and presentation. The fourth video in the Everything You Need to Know About Print series is pricing and sizing. This is probably going to be the most in-depth video in terms of the length and how we break everything down, because again, with the OCD, over the years I have figured out exactly what sizes sell and what sizes I like. So I have 4 main sizes. There's a very particular reason that I have 4 main sizes. I have a very particular price point for every size. It's always the same. It's based on what my cost is per print and how many I assume I'm going to sell at a show. And at this point, I've done, so many shows that I pretty much know what I'm going to sell at a show. So I break down what the cost is on my end, from the printer ink to the packaging material to the time that it takes me, and then I give you the price that I sell it at, and you can see what the profit margin is. We'll break down every single print and every size, what the final cost is for me, and what the final sale price is, and then you can kind of see based on what I do and how many I sell. You can use that as a template for you, and you can decide how you want to size your pieces and how you want to price your pieces. So that's what this video is about, sizing and pricing. There's a formula to all this, and in this video is probably the most scientific video in this series, if you want to use that term, or we just do a deep dive and break down all of this stuff. Okay, so that's what that video is about. In the 5th video in the series, Everything You Need to Know About Prints Part 5, we do the finished product. That's what this video is called. And we basically take everything that we did before to make the print, package the print, price it, all of that stuff. And then what I did last year when I was on the road is I took a video of my booth at almost every show, so I can show you what the prints look like in their final display form, and what the theory is and the philosophy is in terms of my presentation of it, how it looks on the table, and how I display it. And that's basically the summation of the series, is you get to see what the piece looks like finished, see what it looks like actually on the table in a professional environment. My idea here is to try and be as comprehensive as possible and give you as much as possible everything that I've learned over the years and everything that I wished I had known when I had started. And you can use as much of it or as little of it as you want, but whenever you need it, the information is there, and you can kind of come back to this series whenever it'll be up on the channel, and you can refer to it later on if you want to come back to it as a reference. I've already finished the first video in the series. I'm working on the second one. If you can be just a little bit patient with me, instead of putting them up one at a time and then making you wait for the next one, I want to finish them all and get them all done, and then I'm going to put them up in a big block on the channel. You'll see the premieres go up all at once, and they'll be scheduled a week or two apart. So keep an eye out for those so you can set your reminders, and then you can just know and see the schedule of when they're coming out, so that you can go from one to the next to the next. So just give me a little bit of time and I'll have all 5 of those up. And then I'm doing another series like this on commissions, which I think is the second most important thing for a working artist, and that'll be a 4-part series, Everything You Need to Know About Commissions. So hopefully this is helpful. Please let me know if this is stuff that will help you and stuff that you'll watch, because it's taking a lot of time and energy to put these together, which I'm happy to do, but I just want to make sure that this is stuff that you guys want and it will help you. That's the most important thing. Alright, so thanks for everything. Thanks for your support. If you'd like to contribute, you can check out my Patreon, my merch down below. If you buy a print from me, I'm happy to sign it for you, personalize it, whatever you need. Please try and help me grow, help me by sharing a video, making sure that you're subscribed to the channel, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.